But the pause I'm taking here is about Tropical Storm Imelda, Hurricane Imelda, not posing a threat, an immediate threat at least to the Carolinas any longer. But the American Red Cross still urging residents, and really this is just a great reminder on how we need to be prepared for any kind of potential flooding, strong winds, any power outages that might be related to tropical weather, as we are just past the halfway point for hurricane season. Joining us this morning via Zoom from Red Cross is Jason Gujunis, the Executive Director of the Charlotte Metro Area Chapter. Jason, thank you for joining us this morning. I know you're a Panthers fan. I know that might have been a little tough. You were kind of on standby listening to the conversation from Locked On, huh?
Yes, and I'm a big Panthers fan. I've been here 15 years, love the Panthers. They're a wonderful organization that supports the community in a big, big way. I'm just happy that this tropical storm isn't as much of a threat as the Panthers defense.
Right. Yeah,
So we're
exactly.
we're not totally in the clear, but with these tropical storms that eventually turn into hurricanes, we don't need a reminder. Just a little over a year ago, Helene came through and damaged areas that we never thought would be touched by a tropical storm or a hurricane, and so a lot of us had reactions to this formation of this potential hurricane, and Red Cross, like always, does all that we can to make sure that we're prepared to support the community in any way that they need it.
Yeah, I mean, really, that is the lesson as the 1 year mark since Hurricane Helene swept through Western North Carolina and devastated so many parts. We had this week-long coverage here on WCNC Charlotte. But yeah, that really is the takeaway, is that you can never be too prepared, and you can never just kind of stand by laurels and think that it's not going to affect you, because even though Imelda is taking that hard right into the Atlantic, it really is one of the mistakes that we take for granted by, sort of just kind of not being on guard as much as we would. What are the biggest mistakes besides that you see families when it comes to preparation for any kind of storm?
The biggest mistakes we see is people thinking it's not going to be me. It's not going to happen in my home. It hasn't happened in a lifetime. Our neighborhood's good. We're not going to be impacted by it. These disasters, these hurricanes, you can't really predict storms and weather. You can only kind of a little bit plan and a little bit hope that it doesn't impact you. But the biggest mistake that you can make is thinking it's not going to happen to you, and therefore you don't prepare. It can happen to you and your family or your neighbors, and we just implore everybody to be prepared. RedCross.org has all sorts of wonderful disaster preparedness tips. We encourage everybody to be Red Cross ready. That means make a kit, have a plan, and be informed. And the kits are going to look different for everybody else. A kit is it's a go bag for you to have ready. You have to grab your bag and you take off, and you have the most essential needs that you have in that bag. Some cash in case ATMs are down, medications if you have medication, pet medication if that is applicable, and making sure you have a charged cell phone, a car filled up with gas. And as you hear about these storms that are forming, that's the time to get yourself, your family, your household ready in case anything happens. RedCross.org has a great preparedness plan. You have to know where to go if you do have to evacuate, where a safe, dry place to go is. Red Cross also has an emergency app that shares all of the shelters that are open. You punch in a zip code and it'll show all of the shelters that are available and that are open. So before you go to bed at night, look that up, write down where your local shelters are. Nobody wants to stay in a shelter, we know that, but it's not a luxurious thing, it's a necessary thing. So if you have to take it off in the middle of the night, at least you know where you have to go ahead of time.
Yeah, I'm reading, the Red Cross recommends 2 plans, and we really should be in our planning stage anyway during hurricane season. That plan to evacuate, that plan to shelter at home. Why are both necessary? And obviously there are steps to take for each kind of plan. They look different.
Yeah, that's true. So if you have to plan to evacuate, or if you're advised to evacuate, do it immediately. Don't try to be tough and tough it out. If you're advised to evacuate, do it immediately. Plan in advance where you will be going. If you have to shelter in your home, make sure that you have plenty of water. Make sure you practice going to a designated safe shelter for high winds. If you have to stay at home and anything happens to your home, make sure there's a plan of where to go outside of the home. If you have family members that are inside of the home and anything happens, family members go out the front, other family members go out the back, and each think that somebody's still inside. It's great to have a good meeting spot and create a personal support team for people that may assist you and that you may, you can help them out. So get together with your neighbors, make sure that they're fine, and if there's elderly or people that have special needs, make sure you pay particular attention to them and let them know that they have a resource in you. And it only works if you're prepared. So it's kind of like on a flight. Put your breathing mask over yourself first before you help others. And as soon as you have a plan in place and your family is safe, then you can help others.
All right, Jason, you mentioned the Red Cross emergency app. What kind of real-time information will provide families with what they need during a storm?
So the emergency app is wonderful. It'll let you know, and also if you put in a zip code, it's on the other side of the country where you have loved family members, loved ones that live. It'll alert you to any alerts, any watches, any responses that you need to take, any shelters that are open, and it'll help you prepare to not just make your life more convenient, but to save your life and save other lives. It gives you real-time information of what is happening, what's coming up, and it gives you resources of things to think about how you and your family could prepare and respond if that's necessary.
All right, final question. If people there in the Carolinas and the Charlotte area are watching right now, what's the one piece, the takeaway here this morning? What do you want them to know?
I want you to know that Red Cross is here to help you as much as possible. We'll help you immediately following a disaster, but what we'd love to share is that we'll help you before a disaster. We'll help you prepare. We'll help you help your community. We rely on donors. We rely on volunteers. Over 90% of what we do is done by trained volunteers. Go to redcross.org/volunteer and sign up to be a Red Cross disaster responder. We'll teach you how to keep your community safe, how to keep you safe. And if you're luckily not impacted by a disaster that happened and you were able to volunteer with that training ahead of time, you could go to one of our shelters and be a Red Cross worker. We are always looking to expand our Red Cross family. We'd love to have you join us. If you don't support us financially, that's okay. You could support us by volunteering. If you can't volunteer, donate blood. There's a lot of ways to support the Red Cross because blood collection is impacted during these disasters also, and we need as much blood as possible.
Yeah, great reminder on the blood collection and the donation. Yeah, if you can donate your time, treasure, and talent, fantastic. redcross.org. Jason Gajunas, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Appreciate all of the tips and the reminders on what we need to do the rest of this hurricane season and always.
We appreciate the opportunity to share, and go Panthers.
Go Panthers, that's right.